Hey, this is Rob from Higher Power H2O. Got a little bit of a major project going on here. I had a fuel system failure on my Cummins. Had a lift pump go bad, which is a low pressure transfer pump from the tank to your high pressure injection pump, which is not there. Burned up my high pressure injection pump. So instead of spending $700 to buy a new one, I got all the parts for about $350 to rebuild it myself. And here it is. It's actually not as bad as it looks. These things are actually very simple. I guess you could say the heart of the pump is the head unit. This is where your 6 lines hook up, and this is what some people call the rotor, but it's a plunger. Basically, this goes into this head. It's a 12mm head. And it pumps up and down and rotates, and increases your pressure a little bit from the supply pump, and distributes it to these 6 ports, which therefore go through the lines. Now, how it works, I don't know if it's going to come through on the video, but you can see the 6 slots in the end of the plunger, and in each slot there's a hole, and that's when it turns, it puts it to the right injector, and your fuel gets injected in at high pressure. And to control the fuel, here's your throttle valve. Basically, this is what controls your fuel. You see the hole right here, and this collar. Well, that hole's got a little machine slot around it. It's like a little indentation. And, you know, for idle, you need less fuel, so you almost cover that whole hole up. And then towards your wide open throttle, it pulls it back and fully exposes the hole to allow more fuel. Now, what pushes that plunger up and down is the cam plate. You can see it has the 6 ramps on it, and that is what gives it the up and down motion. And these 2 cogs hook up to your drive plate, which is on the back side, and you see the pin that hooks up to this slot on the back of the plunger. And then you have your rollers, which ride on the guide plate. And they're right here. There are these rollers here, and they go in this timing control device, and that's what holds the rollers. And this piston goes to this pin, will protrude out past here and hook up to this piston. The piston slides back and forth, and it twists and advances your timing. And here's your return springs, your governor. Your governor's got centrifugal weights on it. Your timing advance for a cold start, get rid of white smoke. And here's your governor assembly. The pin on the bottom is what goes in that collar to slide it back and forth. Other than that, it's a pretty simple unit. Like I said, they want about $700 for them, remand. And I got 4 kids, so I've got to save some money. And while I'm got the truck down, I'm doing a compression check. It's got 450,000 miles. Gonna rebuild the injectors. And in another video, I'll show you guys how to turn this bottle jack into a nozzle rater, which tells me where the injectors are opening. This thing's supposed to open at 245 bar, which is about 3,500 psi. I have a couple injectors out. Got an assortment of shims. So when I took them apart, I noticed there was no shim at all, which is not normal. So basically, Here's your index plate, and your fuel goes through the little hole right at the top of my finger there, and then it's got 2 pins to index it to the injector. And the injector has this ball on it. It's a locating ball, and that holds the injector where it needs to be in the head. And then you have your spring. Oh, this injector actually does have 2 shims in it. The other one did not. And then you have your nozzle and your piston. And it also has the same 3 holes. 2 are for the locating pins. 1 is for the fuel transfer. And there's your piston. Looks like an end of an ink pen. And I know you're not going to see these, but in the end of that nozzle, right in the bevel there, there's, on this injector, there's 6 holes. I don't know the hole size without looking it up. But we're going to be testing those injectors and getting them. I'm going to raise my pressure up to 250 bar, which is 5 bar over, and give the truck a little more timing. Try and pick up a little torque and some fuel mileage. Before the failure, it was getting about 24 miles to the gallon. That was straight number 2, no HHO, no nothing. With the failure, I got a little under 16 coming home, which I did get a $250 ticket for excessive smoke, because when a diesel loses fuel pressure, it starts smoking like mad. It's aerating the fuel. This vane pump here got chewed up because it was being the transfer pump and a supply pump, because that lift pump went bad, so it was sucking the fuel out of the tank. So we got a nice new one here from Bosch. So that's about it for now. Haven't figured out how to load these things without it going 90 degrees off. We'll do another video with the nozzle rater homemade. Plans are all over the internet, and the cell's going back on the truck. So I was having problems with brackets breaking and basically dragging the cell down the road. But so we'll get all good, and there, as you can see, where my HHO is intake. I'll have to pull that out and show you. It's not that big a tube going into the turbo, otherwise it would suck it dry. It's a piece of copper tubing folded over, and it's got a 70 thousandths hole drilled in it, so it's similar to a MIG welding tip. So the HHO does get pressurized and thrown into the intake right before the turbo, but I did the hole as a restrictor, so when I really start getting in the throttle and sucking some major air, it doesn't suck my cell dry. So with that being said, it's time to get to work, get this truck back on the road. It's been down for about 4 days. Pretty hard to make money as a mobile mechanic when you're not working. So take care. Signing out.